So many people said that this game looked like a mobile game. It don't look good. Or why you revive the series? Or whatever. Yet the game is straight fire. I didn't even like Ultimate Alliance 1 and or 2. Yet this game is straight fire! What's going on, Switch fam? It is your boy QKG, and today we're going to talk about Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 that's exclusively on the Nintendo Switch. And if you possibly want to see it further on down the line, we may see a port on the PC or consoles or anything else like that coming in a later year. So as of right now, it's only exclusive on that hybrid console, that Nintendo Switch. Coming from someone who did not actually enjoy the Ultimate Alliance series, I played 1, never really played 2, but when I played 1, it just wasn't my thing, man. I could see the fun factor in it, but I just did not like it. So coming into this game, seeing that Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja did the combat, dog, it's like, sign me up, dog. So playing that game, getting a feel for the combat, the combinations, just the overall hype of the game itself, is that all there is to it? Does the game have replay value? Is this game a one and done kind of thing when you just play the story and that's it? Or is there anything else that's going to keep players playing in the future? So stick around in this video. Without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump in this review. You know how much I love that Nintendo Switch! For Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, game being co-developed with Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo, the game is going to be hype. I mean, super hype. You can chain in all your characters' abilities, all their ults, all into one. They have these synergy moves to where if you have Captain America's Shield Strike and you have Spider-Man's Web Ball and you do those moves at the same time, you can actually knock the enemies back, do a lot of freaking damage too. And then for bigger enemies like those mini bosses, they have a stamina bar to where if you get that stamina bar and you break them, you do extra damage. So that's where a lot of that action RPG elements come into. And I play a lot of RPGs like Octopath Traveler that have that break system in the game to where you can do a ton of damage. So implementing that into the game made it feel even more hype. Just the sound effects, the glass shattering sound when you actually break through a tough enemy, or the synergy sound when they get smacked in that slight little pause so you can see the impact, and then just the overall noise it makes whenever you use your ult, and then you see that ult and you see all the enemies getting picked up like some straight Dynasty Warriors level stuff. It makes it so enjoyable to watch. Even the roster is just completely packed with some of the best heroes that you could find under the Marvel sun. Even some people may have not even heard of. I've never even heard of Elsa Bloodstone before, but actually using her makes me want to actually go and find some of these comics to read. And then even just some of the familiar faces, the Miles Morales, the Peter Parkers, Hulks, Thors, Iron Man. And I must say, Iron Man's voice actor, dog, you were spot on. Almost sounded exactly like Robert Downey Jr. in the movies. I almost thought it was the same guy. I'm like, okay, that's legit. But and then even bringing in the X-Men, Deadpool was honestly, even though he's technically not an X-Men, honestly the best portion about that game, for my opinion, just because I was like, thank God you put this man into the game. I was just happy they were bringing in some more type of X-Men, some of those popular characters, because Deadpool, along with the X-Men, along with just the regular Avengers themselves, are all popular characters. I'm just glad to see them all grouped up into the game, and hopefully, of course, the MCU can find a way to put him in at some point. But regardless, the game's roster is just amazing. One thing I will say that had me a little conflicted was just the fact that, not that the unlock tree is a little bit all over the place. It is simple to understand, but to be honest with you, like when it's early into the game and all this hype stuff is going on, for you to look through all that stuff, sometimes you don't keep up with it. There were times where I was setting my ISO 8s up and looking at my alliance, my alliance skill tree, but then there were times where I'm just fighting and fighting and fighting. I'm not noticing a difference. And then I get to the Doctor Strange fight and he completely washes me the entire time. I was stuck on that Doctor Strange fight for 2 days until I went through, leveled up some abilities and stuff like that. Then after that, I had zero problems with the game. So sometimes you can just get lost in the fun. That's not technically a bad thing. It's just sometimes when you're leveling up constantly, you're getting these credits. You honestly don't think to go back and upgrade anything until you get in the ass whooped. But overall, it was still a pretty decent unlock tree. It wasn't all over the place. It wasn't hard to understand or anything like that. It's just the game is so fun, you get lost in it. And then also, the one thing that I appreciate is the game does have some replayability just by having all those different characters and ranking them up. Having them at higher levels just to see what type of combinations you can do. But I can see how that can get repetitive very fast. Luckily, they do have the Infinity Trials in the game. The Infinity Trials within the game offer a different spin on some of the other missions that you've done already, to where you get different rewards, you can unlock different costumes, or just different rewards in general. So for that being the way it is, I'm not sure exactly how well the end game will hold up or the DLC stuff, but overall I do see where this game can get repetitive. But at the same time, it does have replayability just by upgrading those other characters, seeing what devastating moves you can pull off, and then what other combinations with the ISOAs that you can actually utilize. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, being a Nintendo Switch exclusive, was a pleasant surprise for a lot of Switch owners, and definitely caught me by surprise of how great the game actually plays and feels, especially when there's a lot of enemies and a lot of explosions going on the screen. The game was a pleasant surprise and a really good addition to the series, and actually even makes me want to give Ultimate Alliance 2 a try, see if I can find a copy of that, just to pretty much get a grasp of the full series. The game in itself was just a blast to play, and honestly, I can't wait for Ultimate Alliance 4. So in closing, so that's my thoughts on Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. And like I said, man, this game really caught me by surprise. I did not expect this game just to be that fire and that hype. But at the same time, it just seems like the game, Nintendo just took the time to make sure that this game was going to be a fire one. So if I were to rate this on the QKG scale, of course it is fuego, boy, because the game has so much replay value when it comes down to the Infinity Trials. Story mode is pretty lengthy, and just the overall leveling up of each character, the combinations, trying out different combos with different characters, it makes it a really fun experience. So I have to definitely give it the highest rating. It's definitely a fire game. I mean, there were some things I didn't like that Doctor Strange fight. That thing was just absolute buns, bro. I hated that fight. But overall, all in all, the game is just a really enjoyable experience, and I'm going to see myself playing this in the future. So I would love to thank you guys for tuning in this review, and as always, I do a $20 eShop code giveaway each month. I did the one for July, but we're almost into August, so that's going to be like the first Sunday of August when I do that. So keep a lookout for that, and then all you got to do to enter in the contest is just leave a comment, be subscribed to the channel, and then also just drop a like if you enjoyed it. So I would love to thank you guys for tuning in. This is your boy QKG.